22 minutes to 10 o'clock is the time right here on Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harari's Heartbeat. And this is that's Stevie Wonder playing in the background there. And in case you're just joining us, is Mr. and Mrs. And tonight we've got in the studio family therapists Takesure and Cecilia Sigauke, and we're talking about forgiveness in marriage, the importance of forgiveness in marriage. We started this topic about 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago we spoke about the how to be able to ask for forgiveness if you are the one that has offended your spouse. How do you ask for forgiveness if you're the one that has offended your spouse? And tonight we're on the flip side, and we're talking about how do you forgive someone if you're the one that has been offended. And they've spoken to us about a couple of steps that you take. And the first thing being that you need to acknowledge the fact that you are hurt. You are hurt. If you're hurt, you are hurt. Acknowledge the fact that you're hurt. And number two, you need to speak about it, talk about it, and let's talk. And then one of the things that they said again was that you've got to understand that human error happens. Your spouse is human, and they will err. And if you understand that they will err, it hurts less. It still hurts, but it hurts less because you kind of know and you kind of expect that they're human, but it's not a license for them to continue making mistakes. And another thing that they said that was that you need to release your emotions in a healthy way, and you don't release your emotions in a way that then causes you to then come back and ask for forgiveness before your issue has been solved, has been settled. And then the last thing that they said before we went on to the break was you need to stop blaming yourself. Don't blame yourself. So you want to get in touch with us, 0717 777 get in touch with us. Let us know, how have you been handling the issue of forgiveness in your marriage? How have you been forgiving your spouse? How have you been asking for forgiveness, and how has that been working for you? So yeah, take us through the next ones.
Okay, maybe the other two steps that we take, but these steps are not maybe to say those are not always. Yes, but you need to consider also. The other step maybe that you can take is telling that person that you're forgiven. Those words are very important.
I have to verbalize it. That
yes.
Okay.
Then you just say, right? It's okay.
But my question on that would be, okay, so we agree from what you've said that forgiveness is a process.
Yes.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe it takes me 6 months, a year to actually forgive my spouse. So do I then come back after those 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 weeks, whatever, how long it has taken, and say, listen, baby, you remember 2 years ago when you asked for forgiveness? You know what? Now I've forgiven you.
Maybe that will take us maybe to the last step, that you need to reflect on the consequences of holding a grudge. Right, ndikatora 6 months, ndakatakura munhu mukati mangu. Who affect us, because forgiveness is created. It's like happiness. You can choose to be happy or to be sad. The same way with forgiveness. You can choose to forgive somebody or deny them forgiveness. But I'm sorry. Or when you go there and say, okay, maybe you realize that they've hated you, and you say, okay, let me start myself to say, I forgive you. They will say, you did something right. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, you are mean enough. Yet you know, you and your family so you can't take 6 months or a year. Ungori said, or say me church. Now how to change a bench, now what do you slave? Watu muranda ukaramona mshopu kanongo dotenga mama uchatenga nofambira area uchatofambira area iyana ngachifamba free. Then iwewe ndori mu bondage for the next 6 months or for the next year, or if it is a husband and a wife, for the next 3 nights or 4 nights. Some they say kana wato bubatikana, everything is chabatikana. So zvese zvagumbuka. So so kugumbuka kunobva kwatora mamanzi, kunobva kwatora makore. So I think my consequences ekusaregerera iwa ukaanzwisisa, it will help you.
Which they affect you. Okay, yeah. I get that. But my question is, what are the telltale signs that I've forgiven my spouse? Because I think for the longest time, well, for me, forgiveness was, okay, a verbal thing. Okay, I've forgiven you. But is that the only sign to say that I've forgiven my spouse, the fact that I've verbalized it? Or it's supposed to be accompanied by certain actions. How do I know that I've truly forgiven them? Especially if I still feel the pain of what they've done.
I think if you still feel the pain, you have not forgiven. Because remember, we said forgiving someone is letting go of the pain. So kana pain iyoyo isati yaitwa let go, ausati waita forgive. Ndopata kuti it's a process. Take your time to let go. Because you can say in muromo, I've forgiven you, but the pain usina kuita let go. Or zvakaitwa usina kuzviita let go. It means if example chingova nawo ai usati wakumbirwa uregererwa anoramba aripo. Because nyaya forgiveness it's about feelings and emotions. So kana ma feelings and emotions akaita overpower munhu agonofara.
But for me, this is how I'm trying to map it in my head.
Okay.
Say okay, fine, I'm upset. Something big has happened and I'm upset.
Big.
Something big has happened and I'm upset.
Yeah.
And maybe this is where I know for so many women they say, you know, we need to go find out this is the plan of action and you told so I find out and now I'm starting to process that plan of action in which I want to hurt him. But then I come to a place where I'm like, okay, I'm letting go of that decision or that wanting to hurt him. Though I still have that wound, which I'm still nursing, but I have let go of that wanting to hurt him. Can I not say I've forgiven them? Because now I'm just nursing the wound, but I've released that anger to want to revenge, if I can put it that way.
Maybe I can say panyaya forgiveness. Kana tichiti waregerera, it doesn't mean that you are forgetting. It also have to be considered. Because vamwe vanofungidzira kuti kana ati ndakuregerera chibva watokanganwa nezvako nezvazvo, but no, memories don't work like that. And ndinogona kuramba ndichizvirangarira because it is in my memory, but it doesn't mean kuti ndichakazvibata pamwoyo wangu. But kana tapita come to the aspect of forgiveness, tikureva kuti that inner pain iyaya inokushaisa peace nerugare iyaya. You have to let it go so that you truly know that you are forgiven. Ukaona ichiri kurambirira yakabatirira, it means hausati, even though wataura hako nemuromo wako, or even though uine imwe peace yemind iri kuti muregerere. So zviri kureva kuti you have to regather yourself, put yourself together, think about everything, the good things zvamakamboitirana nespouse yako, and seek counseling, as Takesure is saying, so that you are helped through the process of pain. Kuti unyatsosara usisina, because patiri kuti isusu forgiveness, we want you to let go of that pain. Usare wa okay.
Maybe
wakutoti nyangwe uchitsanangura nyaya yako kuti ndakazopinda mumba mangu mubedroom ndobva ndatoona mukadzi wangu akarara nechikomba pamubhedha wangu, but that pain haichisiki.
Uchitoitaura pamwe wakutobatsirawo vamwe.
so it's actually possible to get to that point.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Or pawangomenshina kuti akazondisiya ndiri ndega, misodzi yati then you say I've already forgiven him. No.
So as long as I'm still in pain,
You haven't. You have to let go of that pain.
That feels like such a tall order, though. But yeah, well, 0717777771. Why don't you let us know how have been your experiences when it comes to forgiveness in your marriage? I'm going to read out a WhatsApp message here, and that says that it's from Liz. Liz says that Inini, my husband keeps doing the same thing over and over again. He cheats with different women at a time. Ndikazvibata, I'm not sorry. Menokuti chi ndi Satan. Then, Odzokorora, now I'm tired, Nai. Since yesterday alone, I've found out that he's cheating with 5 women and he expects me to accept the apology. Yeah.
I think, firstly, I would say I'm so sorry for what you are going through. It's so hurtful. Kuti urambe kuchiitirwa the same thing and munhu achingoti sorry. But maybe what I can say to help this lady is that she needs to seek help, somebody to talk to, especially who is professional, so that she can be helped. Kuti okuda saying dambudziko rainaro and how to handle her situation. Than kuti arambe ari in this problem. Arambe achingonzi sorry because she is the one anoramba achitwa hate or anozoramba achikuadzwa nekukanganiswa. So I think she needs to seek help.
All right. So she needs to seek help, in other words, so that she finds out how best to manage or to handle that situation. So that it's not her who keeps receiving.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we've spoken about the pain in forgiveness, which for me I'd always thought, okay, I can say I forgive you, even though the pain is still there, but I can say,
yet you are hurt.
Yet I'm hurt. I honestly thought the two were separate.
All right.
Like, I can be hurt, but I'm not angry at you, or I'm not. I don't have intentions of being cruel to you because of something that you did, but I'm still in pain. I thought. Yeah,
That's it counts as forgiveness.
It's forgiveness. Yeah.
And then also, maybe you need to understand that forgiveness must not be conditional.
Okay.
Meaning?
Say, but ndoda kuti uite so and so. Ukaona ukasaita zvakati, ukaita zvakati, handinokuregera. Do you understand?
But as we contradicted maybe the last time that we discussed forgiveness in my actions. So if you are the one that is asking for forgiveness, then it has to be coupled with certain actions. What if you're just simply expecting those actions? You have to explain yourself and you've got to show that you've changed and things like that. If your spouse is the one that is demanding that, does that not count as conditions?
Okay. I think you can expect but don't demand. Because
right.
If you demand, you can be disappointed. Unenge wakutoita sokuti wakukontrola munhu or wakuda kutomudza zvokuita. The offender anofanira kuzviita ega on his or her own part, so that it comes to you iwe uri kukumbirwa ruregerero naturally. Ukamuforsa kuti azviite, uchaona kuti mangwana achadzokorera the same mistakes. Because hazvina kubva maari.
Haunombonditi sorry one. You see, haunotombonditi sorry izvozvo vandishaishira but hausimbonditi sorry. You are not even asking for forgiveness. You are forcing somebody. You see. Hausitombokumbira, iwewe don't expect much. Watadzirwa wacho. Even if you expect kuti ngapi you go this way and this way and this way. But talk about this issue. That's where maybe you can say, but achifungidzira kuti muchaconsider vana, muchaconsider izvi pamaactions amadini maifanira kunzwa kuti ndinonzwosei kunditadza kwamandita, but don't expect macondition ekuti right kuti ndikuregerere ndipe foni ufanira password ndoda kuziva zvakati ndakafona romba mwana ari pere padhuze ndaine mwana. Wahatu in a bondage again. So we are saying it must not be conditional.
Okay, so in as much as those things are good to come out of the offender, these are the boundaries and it shouldn't come from me, the offended. Okay. All right. So how do you balance you gave us the steps of what the offender is supposed to do in terms of asking for forgiveness. How do I balance that and forgiving even when someone hasn't followed those steps? Because for me, those steps made forgiving sound something that is much easier. I mean, you painted a picture of someone who's really coming to a place where they realize the mistakes that they have made. And it makes it easier for someone to forgive in a process like that. Yes. So if the offender has not followed those steps, I mean, obviously they can't go step 1, step 2, step 3. But if they have not done something that is maybe
haana kuexplain all my actions ake
Kana
haasi kuitawo steps towards changing.
Kutodini.
even kana kutombokumbira ruregero rwacho achinatsoziva kuti ndakuwadza still you need to forgive because you need to look maybe kuti what does it benefit zvinobenefita ani kana ndakaita forgiveness inobenefita ani because ukaiona seinobenefita akakuofenda then it becomes a problem but ukaiona ichibenefita iwewe waofendwa then you can forgive even munhu asina kuaska for forgiveness.
Okay, so maybe let that take us into the consequences of not forgiving.
Yeah, but what are some of the consequences? What could do I really need to forgive, especially if I've been really, really hurt? Can I just say, but I cannot forgive you? And what does that? What will happen if I do that?
If you don't forgive, there is an issue of being unhappy. Truly, mono asina kuregerera ane bitterness, and you find out that everywhere you are, uchatadza kufara. Nyango pamuchato chaipo unokumbirwa kunzi tipururudze tiite sei, you will not be able to do that because deep down inside you are bound. You are not happy. You are angry with someone. You have got my issues, unresolved issue. You want revenge. You want to solve something. So haukwanisi kuva munhu anofara. Zviri kureva kuti ucha-affecta family yako, ucha-affecta vana, ucha-affecta ma-friends ako chaiwo chaiwo. Kana munhu aine bitterness zviya even ma-friends ake nyange aimbofara navo vachitamba vese vachidii haachakwanisa kuzviita. Zvokuti ma-friends anenge ungoti ko takakuita seko and can't explain kuti tine ma-issues nemufesi kunoku. So on that part ye-happiness iyo inenge yatotorwa waane bitterness. And you can also have yatinoti misdirected anger. And chakashatira chinhu chinonzi misdirected anger ndechekuti unoenda unopedzerana nemunhu asina kukutadzira. Vana vanofana kutukwa. Kana vari mai unonzwa vakuti baba wenyu anopedza uroora but unomushusha kana and you know the 6-year-old child is like
what does that even mean?
Yes.
Kodhedhi vaita sei?
Or someone uri mukombe unoti zvinoita
wei. Somebody you don't know. You know, misdirected anger is very dangerous. Munoziva even mumachechi umu tinogona kuita maproblem evanhu vanenge vaine ma-issues havo avatobva navo kudzimba ende vasvika pachechi so akangoona vamwe vanongozvitaurira can get close with those people. Vari kutaura nezvangu hamunozondimhoresa mushe mazodai mandipindura rafu mani zvinhu zvisipo so zvinocreatwa nokuda kwemunhu ane anger. So if you forgive, you set yourself free. You live with an open heart. Saka zvinhu zvako zvese zvaunoita hauchaendi kunotokonyana nevanhu vasinei newe. You know, even mumashopu muya pamwe pacho unotoona kuti makwikwi chaiwo. Ukaenda pane munhu till operator ane anger chaiwo unogona kutukirwa zvinhu zvako zvauda kubhadhara. So you know it's important to forgive because in some way you can expose yourself. Wakuita certain behaviors.
And also unogona kuchinjwa personality yako. Kutoti wakanga wari munhu anofara accommodative now because of bitterness, because of that anger wakuti iko zvinezve ndatongoitawo chero. You see vanotonga maybe you were generous. Now kuti saka vanhu pamaitora advantage yekuti ndandiri generous or I'm free. So your character or your personality yatochinjiswa nomunhu.
And even your perception chaiyo inochinja. Ndoko mune makuona kana ari murume kuti vakadzi vana musoro but maybe wokumba kwenyu ndiye akashaya musoro. Vamwe vari kutotenda vakadzi vavo kuti hey ndakaroora panapa. Mumwe anenge angoti varume ndozvavanoita, varume imbwa, varume ikwere, you know those kinds of words.
Yes, or even on issues kuti usaendese mudzimai kuchikoro because kuchikoro ndokukazobvira
Perception.
Right.
mudzimai akawana mari, murume akazowana mari, perception yako
So all that comes from unforgiveness. If you don't forgive, it can affect your perception of life.
Yes. And you put yourself in prison, just as I mentioned earlier on, to say akagara kufront mubhazi kana mukombi kana muchechi unochinja pekugara, unochinja direction, ukaona achibva nekoko unotohwanda, iwo ndowakutohaidha. So one of the greatest icon in South Africa, Nelson Mandela, anoti kutobuda kwandaita in this prison, I am free. I need to forgive and forget what zvakaitika kumashure so that ndinova free. Nokuti ndikana kuzvitakura kwandakuenda, it means I'm in prison again.
And you know, unforgiveness, it disempowers a person. Ukaona ukatadza kuregerera, so kuti uchanyanya kusununguka zvine zvakuita ngo zvinobatirana neissue unhappiness. Kuti uchagona kuita zvinhu, so you know, even kuchechi kana maimboimba tinokona kugara mabhenji, kana maimboita dheko muchidai tinoona futi magara pai. Even kana wanga uri teacher kuchikoro unogona kupesera kuti utadza kuudza vana kuti muri kuita noise because you are disempowered. So it's important to
even on your health, even on your BP, on stress, physical health, appetite. Do you know kuti munhu akakugumbura akakusvika chaiko chaiko, auji. Kuti anofanira ndiani? Ndiwe.